All right, what's up, guys? It's the Cymatics show, and we have Vindata. I was asking him. I didn't know if it was Vindata or Vindata.
You know what? We're not even particular about that.
Yeah.
Everybody asks that, and it's like, is it Vindata? Is it Vindata? Is it Vindata? Like,
Well,
it's we say Vindata, but everybody else like.
but data
take
data is
over the
naturally like something that
Right,
people
it's a
are-
debatable
yeah,
thing.
That's why I was like,
It's like, are you British? Are you
Yeah.
are you American? Okay, how do you want to say it? Tomato, tomato. Like,
do people come with these shows and say like different stuff?
yeah,
Yeah,
but we we don't trip.
Yeah, it's all
Yeah,
good.
it doesn't
Nah.
matter. At least you don't have like the Dead Mouse situation, Dead Mouse 5. You know what I'm saying?
Yo,
Yeah,
low
it
key
gets a little
though,
bumpy.
a long time ago, I
call
made that error.
Dead Mouse 5?
When I first heard about him, like I was like, "Oh yeah, Dead Mouse 5, like Facts of Berlin, like that."
Yeah. Dude, that was
Nah.
that's always like that moment, like, oh, you're not a real Dead Mouse fan or somebody. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
This is early though. This is like 2000, 2007.
Yeah, it was way back.
Yeah, way back in the day. But yeah,
Yeah, cool. So I guess you want to go a little bit just into a quick backstory so the Cymatics community can know how you guys kind of got together, got to production a little bit.
yeah.
Probably goes way back. We don't have to.
It goes pretty back. Yeah, we met through like mutual friends. He used to work with one of our homies back
Nick
in.
Dude. Shout out to Nick, one of our best friends now. Back 2011, maybe
No,
eight.
that was 2007.
Yeah, my memory's bad. But I worked in Circuit City before it shut down, before it blew up into nothing. And I met one of my good friends there, and we just linked up real nice. We were, kind of filling out the dance scene at the time, and we connected over Justice, Genesis, and We Are Your Friends and that stuff. And I met him through Brandon. They were
Tiesto,
together.
all that. Yeah,
Tiesto,
yeah.
everybody.
We didn't. Yeah. First, R.I.P. to Circuit City because a lot of people don't know what Circuit City is.
Hollywood video.
all that
Yeah.
shit, Blockbuster.
Yeah, all those
Brand
things
smart,
that
that's
went
dope.
down in the recession. like,
Internet. More like Jeff Bezos took like everybody down because like, dude,
Yeah.
Amazon, like no chance. You know what I'm saying?
Amazon,
yeah.
Netflix came out there, shut down.
there was some huge companies that like everybody knew about, but then like they just randomly disappeared. And
Toys R Us.
yeah,
That's
Dude,
a-
that's sad.
That's
Like,
a big one.
Yeah, I see.
Yo, that's a
I-
little sad.
I went back. I saw a sign. It was like, "We're going out of business." I was like, "Dude, I could find some like Yu-Gi-Oh cards or some shit." I was like, going back there, just fucking nothing.
yeah, man.
Yeah,
I remember like growing up as a kid, just like Toys R Us was an adventure. Like
it was.
it was like, yo, you walked into there, and like you would, I mean, every aisle was like,
It was a land of treasure.
Yeah.
Pokemon.
dude. I mean, that,
Yeah, they had a Pokemon.
Pokemon.
Dude, Pokemon.
yeah.
No, I'm saying like I remember I got Pokemon Red there, and I still like.
I was more of a like Ninja Turtle dude. Like
Ninja
that's my
Turtles. I
era.
had little baby cars, maybe some Transformers.
Yeah, it was crazy, man.
But yeah, we met. Like him and Nick lived together, and they came over to my home studio. I lived in Canoga Park. You guys lived in what, Woodland Hills?
Yeah, we was out in the valley. We didn't know shit about electronic music
Yeah.
at all.
First group I listened
We just
to
knew
was,
we liked it.
like Daft Punk.
Yeah.
That was my favorite group at all time back in junior high. That came out like what, 98 or something.
I fucking love that.
Yeah.
I mean, I love Daft Punk.
And that introduced me into dance music, and then I started getting into harder versions when I met Nick and met Brandon, which was the electro era back then. And we just used to goof off and make stuff, and then we
it
got
was
to
crap.
it did suck at the time. Disclaimer, but we got to a good starting point of experimenting and running around the underground rave scene, but like East LA, Montbello days.
You guys like
Hollywood.
DJing out there and stuff, or
We were barely even
Yeah,
DJing. Like
we
we
were
would
just
throw,
showing
we would
up.
throw like little
Yeah.
small parties, like house parties, or like some Westwood UCLA parties and stuff. Like we would do that, but we weren't on stage. Like we weren't doing like stage shows until like years later. We were just trying to like see what's up, like what the vibe was, and it was like this energy that was happening, like this underground energy in LA that was like, yo, this is a movement right now. And it-
Dim had their parties out back then. Dim Mak was around a lot.
Right.
A couple other underground rave scenes were popping off in different areas. So you just show up, meet the local DJs, hang out, and it was just very close knit and LA based.
right.
You know what's crazy is that you guys are the third person that has a background in starting with doing like promotion, like events type shit, and then going into it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's weird. They hear the same thing. I mean, do you guys think that helped?
It did. I mean, you don't know what you're doing, but like, I mean, we tried to throw like a club night in Beverly Hills, which doesn't happen at all.
On the Dale Drive too.
Did it work?
No, it did not. It failed
We were standing
miserably.
outside with flyers like, hey, please come in here.
Nobody wants to go to Rodeo Drive to go party at like late at night or anything. Like, no, everyone's in Hollywood or downtown or something like that. So like, I don't know. Like, it gets your feet wet, and you learn like, okay, you learn the ropes. Like, okay, this is how things work. But it was always the music for us. Like, we were just doing that just to sort of like get involved. But like, it was always for us. It was like the passion behind the music is what like drove us to every single move, you know.
Wait, so then you started getting into production at that point?
We were already in production. We just we didn't know, like, we were already doing like hip hop and pop and
I was producing hip hop on the side just with local artists and things of that nature. And Brandon was getting involved in production himself, but we wanted to figure out what this dance thing was.
Yeah.
How do we make
crack the code
dance music? So we just started off with, what was relevant at the time was electro. So we started doing our own versions as Vindata, remixing older 2000 hip hop songs.
Yeah.
Did Young Money come out at that time?
Yeah, we did like a Young Money remix. Damn, this is old. Damn, we going back.
Amanda Blank.
Yeah, we did a bunch of like random like
Usher,
this is
oh my
during the
God.
Blockhouse era. We did a bunch of stuff like that, and it was cool. But we didn't even we had limited resources back then. Even like with VSTs, like they weren't up to par like they are now. Like VSTs were like rare.
There's only a handful of them.
Yeah.
I still remember when Serum came out, it was such a game changer.
Yeah.
It was just so much like, oh,
I mean, yeah, it's completely different now. Like back then, if you had like more analog gear, then you were in the game. But if you, didn't have any of that, like if you're trying to get your feet wet with like a lot of like soft synth stuff, like there wasn't a lot out there, and even what was out there, half of it just didn't sound good. Like it was like
very rough.
Yeah,
very, very rough. And the analog gear itself was expensive.
Yeah, it was super expensive.
Ridiculous.
Yeah,
I think that's what the interesting thing we're seeing now is you got to think everybody like processing power keeps getting better and better, and that's why we were seeing crazy with Cymatics' growth is that like everybody has a computer and getting getting Ableton FL is not that hard. So now it's just this weird boom of like, okay, you can just YouTube to learn everything. Everybody's computers are good enough. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like crazy how many people are getting into it.
Right. Yeah, you just got to have the willpower to do it and stick it out and like be creative and try to do something different.
Yeah. At what point you guys start getting some real traction? You know what I'm saying? Where you felt like it went from being like releasing stuff to like, oh shit, this is actually like, picking up speed.
It either had to be the Usher remix we did or the Tory Ma. I feel like
I love Tory Ma.
Yeah, we did.
So Many Details is one of my favorite songs of all time, dude.
So like he's like.
Is he still dropping? I haven't even listened to.
He has a new album out.
Just released a new
It's
album.
fire too.
Dude, I think Rose Quartz was like I was listening to that shit like way back. Dude, I went to some of his shows, man. It's so good. Like, dude, I love his
sick,
shit,
dude.
man.
He's
That's
sick.
fucking awesome. You guys brought. I listen to nothing but like chill shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. He actually just did a show the other day with Chromeo.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think it was a Hollywood Bowl or
It was a
something.
Hollywood
like
Bowl.
that. Yeah, I've seen him live like 3 times, I think, like 3 or 4 times. He is a real musician. He's like really legit. Like he's a great performer. But yeah, we did a remix. Like I think we did Still Sound.
Yeah.
We did that remix, and it was pretty cool. Like it was on some chill shit, but like it had some pretty decent traction. So we kind of saw like, okay, we're building here. Then maybe like fast forward to a year later, we started like building our team around it, around a couple other releases. And then really the one song that like really popped for us was All I Really Need with Kenzie May. Like that was like the song that like really, really like pushed us over the edge.
Was this independent at the time, or were you
No,
guys...
we released that with Castle's label Symbols, and we kind of just ran with that there. We had a little bit of like, I guess, a little bit of momentum going into it. We did like remix for Odessa, and we had a few other releases out, but it was like that song was like the first original that like really, really like solidified like a big,
Yeah, that
big
led
thing
us
for us.
into signing with Owsla and meeting Sonny and things like that.
Yeah.
Opened
Yeah.
up a lot of doors for us.
I mean, you don't talk about that because I think that a lot of producers, that's pretty much their dream to go meet up with Skrillex. You know what I'm saying? And getting connected into Alza, like talk about how that came about and how that affected your careers a bit.
Yeah, I mean, first time we met Sonny face to face was at Sound Nightclub. We were doing a showcase for the EP. Symbols was hosting the night. And the song, all I really needed had already been on the Hypo charts and everything. So we had a little bit of buzz. We were playing a show with Sweater Beats and a couple other DJs. And, in walks this...
Lindsay Lohan.
Yeah, Lindsay Lohan. Shout out to Symbols and everybody. In walks Sonny through the entrance. And he's walking up. He'd previously met my boy, Nick, back in the day. So Nick was like, yo, Sonny's here. I was like, oh, okay, that's tight. So we in here DJing. And he walks up, after we get done, he walks up behind me behind the booth. He's like, yo, I've heard you guys' music. Like, I love your song. All I really need. This is amazing. We need to link up. Just gave me his number right then and there. Mm-hmm. And from that point on, we just kind of started building a relationship and talking. And it was just like, he was building everything up for us. So.
Yeah, so he was just like, yo, I fucks with this whole, like, what you guys are doing. So our music, like, I guess he really liked, and then we, like, became friends just.
Yeah, he's a very personable dude. Like, he's kind of hard, he's nice. If he sees something that he likes, he'll be involved as much as he can to help nurture it and, like, build it up.
And yeah, we just end up going on tour with him. Like, he was like, what are you guys doing for touring? And at the time, real shit, like, at the time, we just still had, like, day jobs.
Yeah.
Like, and we were like, we're not doing anything.
We gotta go back and work on Monday. Like,
yeah, but, he took us out on his fall tour. And it was just like one of the best like experiences and eye opening and all that, like changed our lives. And after that we just kept rolling with it. Oh,
that's crazy. What's like so we ask every guest this, what's like the craziest tour story yet? It could be like some wild shit, you know what I'm saying, or it could some shit where you're like, damn, I tell that story all the time.
Probably that first tour. So that first tour, we end up going to Tampa
Bay, Hogan's Beach. I think it's
Hogan's Beach. Hogan's Beach in Tampa or something. Went out there, great show. It was us, GTA, Chami, and then Snake came through, just like show support or whatever. He came through. So then everyone's turning up and stuff, and the host there, the people that like promoted it and everything, they're like, yo, we just really want to show you guys like what Tampa's all about and like, take you around. So we end up going to a strip club.
Hey.
We end up going to a strip club. But it's funny though, because we're not in our element. Sonny's not in his element.
At strip club?
Yeah. We're not really strip club type dudes, so like we're just kind of like, all right, well, I guess that's what we're doing. Like,
well, see what's popping.
Yeah, but I think like what was weird about it was like Sonny like pulled us to the side, and like we just had like this real like one-on-one like on some real like artistry conversation like in the middle of the strip club. Yeah, women everywhere, like, and Sonny like everything is like over there. We're here having this serious artist to artist conversation.
Tits everywhere.
Yeah. All right, what are we doing? Like, like this is what we want to do. This is our goals. These are our ambitions. This is everything. Like we're having this deep freaking conversation with like, and Snake comes in and he's like, oh yeah. He's like giving us like, all right, let's get it, And I'm like, this is really weird.
It's weird at the same time. I was like, oh, because it's one of the first. I think one of our first tours.
That was our first like real tour.
That's a pretty big like, okay, no tours work until like that's your first tour. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's that's crazy.
Yeah, that was probably like one of the weirdest. It was cool. It was dope.
Yeah, it was dope as hell.
It was random.
Yeah, it was random.
Do you ever still think sometimes like think about your old like crappy jobs and shit? You know what I'm saying? Like it's looking back, it's kind of strange, right? Like it's like for me, I was a sign holder. I was doing like, I was spinning the signs, like doing that goofy shit. Drew like cleaned bathrooms and shit, So it's just kind of funny. Like I was like, whoa, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, I've had like pretty much every job. I feel like I used to do like fast food. Then we both actually, low key, we both used to work at Hollywood Video before they closed down.
Yeah, I worked at Hollywood Video. I actually went to Circuit City because Hollywood Video closed down. So when I first got to LA back in 2007, 2008, I had to look for a job. My music wasn't anywhere popping at all. I hadn't met Brandon yet. And I was like, all right, well, I got to get a job. So I went to Hollywood Video in Baldwin Park, transferred over to North Hollywood. Next thing I know, they hitting us up like Netflix is taking over the game. Like, Hollywood Video's done. Shut that down. I was like, shit, okay, well, what else am I going to do? I guess I'll just go back to Circuit City. Yeah. decently sized job I had was AAA in Florida. I worked as a telemarketer kind of membership
Yeah.
guy. And I was,
Dude, that shit will
401ks
teach you some
together.
stuff, man.
Oh,
I
yeah.
did door-to-door sales where I was selling newspapers, and now that's been one of the most important things I've ever learned in my life.
Oh,
Because I
yeah.
can like sell shit and talk to people and like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It builds character too. Like when you do those type of jobs, like that's why I don't like shit on those jobs. Like, you know, everyone has to go through like different hardships and they got to like crawl through different spaces and all that. Like I respect the hustle. Like if you got to do this to get to the next level, and then but you're, you know, in the back of your mind you got like, I got a plan. You know, I'm gonna like level up on this. Like you're doing it right.
Yeah.
Like if like there's nothing wrong with it.
I
But-
used to be an insurance agent.
Yeah, and then I used to sell insurance. So it was funny, like
See, that's the type of shit you get, because the reason is you get smacked so hard on like those sales type jobs. Like
Yeah.
dude, door to door, man, people slam my face, cuss me out,
Right.
calling the police, like all kinds of shit. I'm just like a little kid, like trying to like sell some fucking newspapers. But,
Right.
I mean, dude, build some grit. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
At least you're not just sitting around not doing anything. Like you're out there trying to make something happen. Like I respect that. Like that's where it's at.
What do you guys think about the benefits of LA? So like coming out here, obviously it's been easy for us to get a bunch of people through. But like, do you think that like living in LA has helped some of this like serendipity and stuff versus like living elsewhere?
It does and it doesn't. I think like it does because just like you said, like the connections are there. Like everyone is here, so it's easier for you to like link with people. But there's like other parts of LA that could like mess with your psyche, mess with like your mood and like how you are. Like, you know, it's expensive to live out here. It's like there's, you know, some people can be snooty. Like there's different things.
You got the Hollywood stigma
Yeah.
with Los Angeles. I mean, it's the entertainment,
Right.
one of the entertainment capitals in the United States. And
I feel like there has to be a lot of ego here.
Right,
I'm
there
guessing.
is.
I'm not sure,
Yeah.
but
There is. Like, I mean, I'm sure there is in most major cities, but like here specifically, there's a certain type of ego that you got to deal with, and you know, you just got to be prepared for it.
Yeah.
Like sometimes people move out here a little bit too early, and they're not like mentally or emotionally ready for it yet, and you know, maybe their career brought them there, or maybe they're just trying to make a career out here. But it's something that you need to like prepare yourself for, because you're dealing with people that they all want to succeed, and like
hungry.
everyone is hungry, and like millions of people just concentrated in one area.
yeah.
And it's all hunger, and you're in the jungle. You don't want to.
And that's the good thing on the positive side. If you're in an area where you can meet people, like had we been in, I don't know, Texas or something, we might not have run into the rave scenes or people like Sonny, so on and so forth. Just being bedroom producers and studio producers, it gives you an opportunity to go out and experience whatever scene is going on
Right.
at that particular time.
But you know, sometimes there could be an advantage to not being here. You know, being, you know, in a small town where you don't have all that noise, and you can just concentrate on your craft, and you can just like work on art. And you know, maybe if you want to go like socialize, and you can pick and choose when you want to do that, instead of like always being completely surrounded
by it, yeah.
And it changed over time, because back when we started, you had to go out and meet people. Now you have obviously
DM.
social media, DMs,
Yeah.
so on and so forth, internet. You know what I mean? It just makes it easier.
Dude, it's crazy, man. Like, dude, you can reach almost anybody.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Just DMing, like you'd be surprised at just
Right.
how effective just sending DMs are. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like over like email or everything right now.
Yeah, I mean, you don't really need to. I mean, it's not like back in the day where you had to be there, but like, it helps sometimes. But the internet is it's a blessing, I guess. Yeah.
So who's the best guy? Like, who is somebody who you guys got in the studio with who's been like, holy shit, this person's good? You know what I'm saying? Like skill wise, like who do you think is the most talented?
Anderson Pot.
Yeah, Anderson came in and just bodied. We work with a lot of writers.
Yeah.
Like, we work with a lot of rappers, and as producers, you're producers, like, at the end of the day. But working with an artist that comes in off the cuff, just like, he came in the studio, great energy, positive vibes, had a whole arsenal of other things going on in his life that we didn't know about that was going to pop off later in the future. And he had just heard 2 records, picked out one. He was like, all right, I got that. Sat down for about 10 minutes, put the pen to the pad.
Fast.
Really?
Get in the booth. This dude was just like, wop, 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 wop.
The energy, yeah.
All right, we got a banger here. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, snap, what the fuck just happened? Like,
Yeah. That's,
The energy that he has too, like when he records, it like
It-
you
it-
can feel it in
yeah.
a room. Like you
Feel
can
the
feel it. Like
presence.
he gets into it. Like when he records vocals, he's dancing along.
yeah, he's in the
like,
booth like he's performing live. He's in there
yeah,
just
it's
hyping
real.
going in.
So I would say like Anderson .Paak is probably like one of the like most talented, skillful you know, people that also Taylor Parks.
Taylor Parks
She's amazing too. Taylor Parks she's one of the best writers that we've like worked with to date too.
Yeah.
It's funny because like being a producer, like it's kind of a different ballgame than like the songwriting and like lyrics and all that shit.
is.
Like being a producer, I mean, it's not the same as like remixing a track per se. You know what I'm saying? As like actually building vocals and stuff. I think
Right.
a lot of people underestimate that. I'm like, dude, that shit's tough, man.
It is coming up with like concepts and like, you know, messing around with wordplay. Same thing. Nastasia is really great too.
Yeah, Nastasia was amazing.
She's amazing too. She's really clever with different things. We did the song Favor with her and Sunny. And it was just a great process, you know, being in the creative process with people like that. They really like inspire you to go further.
Yeah. So you guys got any favorite plugins?
Let's see.
Off top,
Some secret go-tos.
Cable Guys
Silent.
stuff. You do like the Cable Guys volume shit.
Yeah, everything that
Yeah.
Cable Guys comes out with is tight.
Very good automation. Solinth obviously has been one of our go-tos. Omnisphere, Trillion, most of the Arteria V stuff. You know what I mean? I like the
Yeah.
analog gear. It has
Old School Massive, yeah.
old school math. Yeah, still use math.
We used to use Reason, but I forgot how to use it.
when we
now.
started it, we were using it for a lot of the electro stuff, but it's complicated. You got to know your plugins, your
Have you guys seen
LFOs and stuff.
Faceplant?
No.
The new one that just came out?
No, I haven't seen
No,
it.
it's super interesting. A lot
Get
of people
up
are
on
saying
that,
it's
though.
like better than Serum. It's like
Oh,
all this
really?
stuff. Yeah. It's
Thing about Serum is the quality of sound that comes out of Serum is next level. Only problem is CPU overload.
Yeah, you gotta hit that. I forgot what it's called. Level it down.
dude, and Steve did all that by himself. Like,
He's an enigma.
He's a beast, yeah.
Steve Duda is like crazy. He's like a robot.
dude, because
yeah.
when I talk to Steven, I just hear him start going off sometimes about like just the different stuff he's doing with Serum. But like the fact that it's weird because I've told him so many times, like, dude, get help to like help you build out the squad. It's just him. It's fucking just coding.
He's
it all.
amazing.
And like for one person to do that, like he essentially is defeating coding teams. You know what I'm saying? Like think about how many people like
Single-handedly.
Yeah, single-handedly. This dude's just pecking away at his keyboard. You know what I'm saying?
That's amazing. Yeah.
Skills, baby.
Yeah.
Much
plus-
respect to him.
Yeah. Plus, like when you have a product, it's weird also to see something blow up like that, and without like hardcore marketing. You know what I'm saying? Because usually you got to hustle on the business side, but like
Right.
we were probably doing that for him, honestly. Like we put out so many Serum sound banks early on, it was fucking.
I mean, it is like probably the most popular right now.
Definitely is.
Like,
It's different too. I mean, it's different in
Yeah.
the sense that it is like Steve Duda. Like he has his own imprint on the stuff that he does. So.
How do you guys look at social, like social media, and like how it relates to?
we like it.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
it's cool.
It's a necessity.
Yeah. It's kind of like, it's another part of the job. Like,
You gotta know as an artist, especially as a DJ, because you're not necessarily singers. You're a producer and a DJ performer. And starting off, that's one of the bigger assets you gotta have is showing you, like you were saying earlier, mentioning how producers don't really have a lot of platforms that they can speak out to.
I think one of the problems is that they think that like, okay, so the way you approach a song, being super artistic about it, very nitpicky with details, a lot of times hurts you on social. You know what I'm saying? Because you're
Right.
doing like artsy stuff, and a lot of times shit posting a selfie video crushes it. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Or like, so figuring out that, I think a lot of people struggle.
It's true. It's weird. It's like wrapping your brain around like, what people will respond to. And again, I guess just to tag along to what you're saying, like, you think about that, like when you're producing, you're thinking about like, how's the listener interpreting this? Like, okay, this particular sound, like, what are they going to think when they hear this, like the sound in this spot at this time, like before this and all that. And you kind of have to do the exact same thing, apply the same like logic to social media posts, but it's like different. It's not for the listener. It's like for someone scrolling through. Like,
Well, dude, it's weird because when me and Drew put up production videos, the main thing we're referencing on is your phone. Because we're literally putting out IG shit, you know what I'm saying, mostly. So it's like constantly listening to shit on your phone. It's kind of crazy.
yeah.
What's the biggest show you guys played?
Had to be between Red Rocks or
Beyond.
Wonderland.
It's
I think
Beyond Wonderland. Yeah, between Beyond Wonderland or Red Rocks. Those are probably the two biggest shows that we've had. I don't know.
Was it crazy?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was insane.
How many people are we talking?
Over 10K.
for Beyond.
I think 10.
Or
Was
Red
it
Rocks.
10K? I don't remember.
Let's just spitball it at 10K and Beyond because we were playing main stage and that was one of our first main stage-ish
Yeah,
performances.
Beyond. Yeah,
At Red Rocks, we were touring with Sunny and Chami and
Jack Beats,
and
Mustard.
And we were opening up the show. And that was our first time using CDJs. We had previously learned CDJs.
Yeah.
2 weeks prior. So it was like shit. My parents.
I think we
like,
had a week to
right.
learn CDJs like before we
together.
played Red Rocks. Like 1 week to get it down.
That must have been nerve-wracking leading up to that.
Oh, yeah.
It was crazy too because it was like a 3-day run. So the night before we were in Toronto, we flew from Toronto to Denver and did Red Rocks. And it was like, oh god. And then we had to fly from there to What the Fest, which is like in Portland, I think, or something like that.
Yeah.
But it was our first run with CDJs in general, and we were like just trying to figure everything out. But luckily, it went great. Like,
Have you guys ever had like disaster, like something crazy, like like on
man.
stage, like
San Diego.
San Diego's probably
was like
What
a
happened?
cataclysmic event. Did your car shut down?
It was a long time ago. It was early. Most of our failures. I mean, we everyone still goes through like little failures,
But the major, like,
the big
backbreaking
stuff,
stuff.
it was in the beginning, like the learning curve of like being DJs. We were in San Diego, and this particular like stage, like the power was all routed to like one area. And everyone was like turning up, and there was people behind us like turning up. So we're playing, and someone like tripped over a cord and knocked all the power out.
damn.
Completely out. Like CDJs are out, lights went out, everything's done. We get booed. We get booed. But it was now you look back and it's like, oh, that's kind of like. It's kind of humbling now to like look back and get booed after like something like that happened. It was like all I could do was laugh.
Yeah, pretty much. Once it happened, it's just like, well.
Did you guys get it back on or no?
Yeah, it came back on, and then people kept dancing like after a while. But I was just thinking to myself like, damn, like why are we getting booed though? If I was in that crowd, I wouldn't boo the DJ that the power went out. But
I got nothing to do
Stop booing us, motherfuckers.
We're just trying to work, baby. Just trying to work.
yeah, it was funny, but. Yeah, that was a bad show.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, I seen some. Did you see that one thing with Skrillex when he jumped and hit his head on that thing?
No, he didn't.
Oh, dude, he had this giant stage thing, and he gets fucking fired up. You know what I'm saying? He just jumps and just clotheslined. There's a funny video.
Snap.
We'll have to-
Yeah.
I try to be careful with stuff like that. There's a bunch of videos I've seen me try to like do a jump, and you can tell that I'm trying to be extra careful with the jump. It's like it doesn't look natural. It's just like I don't want to fall.
I've tripped over a couple speakers.
You ever jump in crowds or no?
Yeah, we jumped in crowds.
Yeah, we jumped down. I'm usually on the railing. Like when we did a tour with Zed, the crowd was very responsive. They had no clue who we were, and they were hyped. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna go down here and see what's up. Ran down stage, got in, people were screaming and yelling. I'm like, all right, cool, let's go.
Yeah. We did, me and Amber, Miha, we did like a little stage dive together. It was fun.
I took a L that night. Took a major L. We got up on stage we were shooting a better video, and we're standing on stage, and the crowd's getting hyped. And Amber and Brandon on the side, on the left, just like, all right, y'all ready? They're looking at each other like, you ready? Like, and look at me, I was like, yeah, I'm ready. But I'm over about 5 feet. Everybody's looking at them, pointing in their direction, like, okay, we're gonna catch you. They jump first, and then I jump about 10 seconds afterwards.
And nobody
right on the rail, and I'm just stuck there, and I'm like, oh snap! And I noticed that everybody's looking at them, and I was like, okay, where do I go? I don't know what to do. I'm like halfway between the crowd and halfway between the realms, so I just jump in the crowd and I just scurry through the side part, run back around the stage.
and then somebody took a photo.
I was like,
Somebody watched that whole thing go down.
Somebody
Like a
took a
whole
photo,
thing.
like it was a professional photo too, and like sent it. It was like, yo, we like posted it, like.
so it's your boy, dog.
Like we were asking people to caption this, like what is happening right now?
Yeah, that was my first stage diving there. I'll have to do my training on that later.
Yeah, that was funny.
Dude,
It was fun though.
no, that's fucking hilarious, man. I'd be scared to jump in the crowd, man. Just like
As long as you let them know you're doing it, you should be good. You don't weigh like 300 pounds, but just let the crowd know like I'm about to throw my body at
I think
your face.
you give them a little. They know, but going to a bunch of punk shows back in the day kind of like inspires all that.
Yeah, that definitely helped out a lot.
Going to like back in the day, I used to go to like random emo shows and stuff. So
Get used to the mosh pits.
yeah,
yeah.
Nothing too crazy.
it was tight.
No, I mean that's pretty crazy stuff for sure. Do you ever feel like you get overwhelmed by the tour life, like just going out doing all this shit? Because I mean, dude, some people, man, they even get like sick and can't even get over it because they're flying around. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Usually after a tour run, I get a little sick. I get a little under the weather.
You definitely got to have your mental and physical health in a good place, you know. And it seems like most of the DJs that are out right now are doing fairly well with that. I mean, like they enjoy what they do, and if you're having fun doing it, you can definitely get there. But there is a time where you got to take a break for a second, even if
you got to step back
in a hotel or whatever.
Honestly, too, you got to stay grounded. Like even like right now with us, like it's kind of like you got to know like why you're doing this, and you know sometimes if you need to take like a step back and you know talk to your fam and like get back and you know get back with loved ones and all that, and like that can like refuel you to like where you need to be, and you can get back and crush it again. But if you kind of like get lost and forget what is this all about, why are you doing this, what's important to you, like that could really drain you like pretty hard. So
I think there's a lot of cases of people getting lost in that lifestyle.
Yeah,
you know
it's easy.
Even especially drinking, like just drinking alone. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't imagine like getting hammered every other night and trying to stay productive.
It's a natural occurrence over time if you're just used to doing it. I mean, you're DJing one show one night, you're DJing another show one night, and you're having your drinks and whatever, as long as you're not getting smash, but it's a part of the lifestyle, so you just got to know your limitations.
Right.
Every person's different. They know what they can take.
See, and that's the thing. There's a little, you know, there's that caveat. There's this, like, weird space where, you know, most of us are young, so a lot of us haven't really figured out who we are yet before we've blown up, or we're touring and we're around all this crazy stuff, and it's like it's better to actually like know who you are and you know have a good head on your shoulder before you get out and do all that stuff, like, you know,
get out of your system.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think about 2019 newer producers? Let's say some kid is like a beast, right, got a bunch of great songs in. What do you think producers need to do today to like make it? Because we got a lot of those guys in our audience who have killer tracks just sitting on their desktop, like just all over the place, and they're just kind of afraid to release it, don't know what the fuck to do. Like, what advice would you give for a new producer trying to?
Let's get it out.
Yeah, definitely get it out, because you're never gonna know until you try something. Even if it fails, if you want to win, you're gonna have to get used to failing. But get it out, whether you think it sucks or not. Don't try to be too much of a perfectionist.
Yeah,
this is gonna take more time. You're gonna keep making edits, keep revising until you finally get enough balls to put it out. But I think that's one of the first steps, is getting your music out.
Just getting it out. Make the right connections, you know, talk to people, make friends. You know, I think like there's a social aspect that's like not even on like social media, on some real stuff that you can like connect with people and learn from them, and you know, just doing that and consistently releasing music, you'll grow and it'll come. Like it took us so long to get like to this level. Like it took us a while, and we're still like, we look back like, wow, like we know exactly like how far it's been, you know?
Yeah.
But it's crazy. You know, as long as you like stay consistent and keep at it and don't let, you know, all the outside stuff like ruin it, then you'll be fine. Like eventually things will happen.
Do you think there's something like, what's one thing that you guys are doing for your career that's absolutely like, you guys like, man, this thing's like really good, like all producers should do this, but you don't see enough producers doing? Is there something like that out there that's like a strategy that's crushing it for you guys?
It's a tough.
I think like making music from the heart, like you gotta like, sometimes you need to step away from looking at what's happening in the scene. You need to actually like make something that you feel like internally, like you have your emotions, and you know whatever mood or pain or love or inspiration that you're feeling right now, make a song from that. If you do that, it'll be true and it'll come out, and people will recognize it. Like most people can tell when, like a true music lover can tell when an artist has put like the time and the energy and their emotions and their heart into a record versus someone that just like cranks something out like really fast because it's popping right now.
Yeah, you look at the top 5 Beatport and you're like, yo, what I'm gonna make, bing, bing, bing. And that could work for some people starting off. If you're a brand new producer and you're trying to get your feet wet and you don't have any skill in production, you can model your song after other people and kind of develop your sound that way. But
there's a brick wall coming soon. Like
it's gonna hit that ceiling.
Yeah,
you have to try to be yourself as much as you
can. Right.
So why do you think so many artists get to a certain point where they start getting success doing some like unique shit, and then all of a sudden like you start hearing pop records coming out. You know what I'm talking about? Where the thing happens to where they get to a certain level and it starts to kind of come out more poppy. And it feels like you lost that original artist. You know what I'm saying? Do you think they're pressured by like hitting the masses and stuff?
I think, I mean, it could be.
Each person's different, too. Every artist is different.
Right.
Some have different ambitions. Some guys may have started doing a unique style and was like, you know what? I want to try to get this Grammy over here. I want to work with bigger artists to further my growth as a producer. Mm-hmm. Some guys just, want to sell records.
There's some of them probably already love pop.
Yeah. And they just
having to start doing like
to meet up. And
they're like, oh, I already like pop. I just ended up like experimenting with this other like subgenre over here, but now that I've like grown here, I get to do what I wanted to do before. So I don't necessarily look at it as a bad thing. I think whatever you're doing, if you're doing it not for your own like reasons, then it could be bad for you. But I don't think every artist like has to stay like esoteric to like be a great artist. Like some artists are really, really good at making like dope pop music, and some of them aren't. And some of them are really, really good at making underground stuff, and they should just stick to doing that. Like,
yeah, no, I agree. I mean, dude, some of my favorite artists are like kind of smaller guys who are just underground. Right. You guys heard of Slow Magic?
Yeah.
Dude, he's coming over in a little bit. I'm like, bro, bring that mask. Because I'm like, dude, you should be way bigger on Instagram. I'm like, because I used to fucking look up to him and check out his music all the time. And I'm like, dude, that mask thing is dope. But like, you know what I'm saying? He's just making interesting shit, you know?
I listen to stuff all the time. He's dope. Yeah.
Are you guys into mostly chill artists and stuff? I mean, Tory Ma, fucking Odessa.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's a mix of everything. We listen to a lot of different styles of music, but electronic-wise, it leans more towards that hip-hop, whatever mix of hip-hop, electronic that is, experimental. It's been different.
You like guys like Nujabes? Or Nujabes? You guys ever heard of him?
I can't say his name, but
I've heard it, but I don't know how to say it either. I don't want to.
You guys watch anime ever?
Yeah,
it's like this Samurai Champloo, the guy who did the whole soundtrack for Samurai Champloo. He's got some fire shit.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Adult Swimmy.
Yeah. I used to listen to Shlomo a lot back in the day.
I listen to Shlomo. Yeah, I still listen to Shlomo. Yeah. Literally, like, Bad Vibes is like one of the best albums.
Thank you. Bad Vibes is amazing, dude.
Bad Vibes.
I wish he did. Dude, it's almost like that whole lo-fi push. He was on that shit, like, except doing nothing but original, like, you know what I'm saying? Forever ago.
Bad Vibes is so dope. He has he has this other record that I don't know if it's new, but I just found out, and I was just like, yo, this is him. It's like on some UK vibe, like, and I was like, dude, like, he's so sick.
Dude, have you heard Later?
Later. No.
Dude, that one track, it has like the R&B vocal, but it's distorted as fuck.
It's dope. I bet you it's
dude,
dope.
It's vibey. I mean, dude, me and Drew used to smoke and fucking just chill. I listen to Shlomo like all the time.
Shlomo's tight.
Dude, one of the best shows we ever been to was like, it was Shlomo, but it was like, I swear, man, maybe 50 people at this like very underground venue, but dude, it was fucking awesome.
He has that like small vibe thing, but the thing about it is, he's like one of those like LA beatsmith pioneers, like those dudes that came out of the LA beat scene, like 2011, 2012, like Fly Low, Shlomo, Babs.
XX was kind of like that.
Yeah. Who else was out there?
Dude, I grew up. That's when I was like really like putting out a lot of music, and me and Drew were like working on shit. Was like during that era. So we looked at all those guys like Giraffage, you know what I'm saying, who were putting out shit. It was pretty interesting.
It was dope. It was a good time.
Yeah, that was the earlier cusps of, I feel like, where Future Bass was, at least for us in LA. That's when it was.
That's where, we kind of came. I feel like that was during our change. Like when we first started out, we were doing like this, like we were more inspired by like the whole Justice Mastercraft like era, bloody. Yeah, that whole era. But I think like around that time, like 2012, we started going back to like experimental hip hop, beats, chill wave, just different things like that. And that's what like kind of like inspired us to like go with a different sound and do something a little bit more different. And Toro was another, just to bring him back, he was like a huge inspiration for that too. Just there was a bunch of like electronic musicians that weren't necessarily huge EDM artists, but they were still in their right electronic musicians that were doing really creative stuff. It was just like more chill, down tempo and all that.
I feel like Odessa has carved this weird cult following in this like space that like, it's weird how more people aren't chasing that sound. I think they have tough job achieving something similar to it. Like they would chase like a certain EDM thing, like a big room or something. But like, dude, Odessa, man, they're fucking girls love Odessa. Like I go to Odessa show, it's crazy. There's so many diehard fans. You know what I'm saying?
They make great music.
They have a great sound. It's very unique. It's pop centric without being like, you know,
Still being cool.
Right,
You know what I'm saying?
exactly.
Like
It's like a
shit.
niche thing.
And it's like feel good music.
Exactly.
It's
Makes you wanna dance,
it
vibe out.
has like a really good. It makes you feel really good. So any sort of feeling like that, like it's gonna work. It's better. Yeah.
So what are you guys trying to do in the next like 5 years with your project? Like where's the direction for it, the goals?
First thing is getting this album done. We're at the finish line of our albums, about 13 songs. So we're wrapping that up, finding a home for it, and, you know, kind of creating this decently new sound that we're building upon. You know, change up a couple things here and there.
Yeah, taking our performances to a next level.
Yeah.
Adding a few things to the stage. Yeah.
Just
I don't know.
growing as artists. We've been in the game for a hot second, but yeah, we really want to. You know, we're diving more deep within ourselves to kind of get more of our, you know, personalities out,
Right.
more of the emotions that we're going through.
Yeah.
You know, flipping the script a little bit.
Yeah, no, that's what's up. Cool. So I think we'll end it with a question. We usually do a giveaway where people comment their favorite thing. But I guess the last question that's kind of an interesting one is, let's pretend you guys are in another universe, exactly like Earth, right? And you only had, let's say, $500 and a laptop that you can make your music on. What's like your next 30 days look like if you're trying to make it? Let's say you got living covered, you know what I'm saying?
You got
$500 and you got your laptop, you know what I'm saying, with FL, you know, Logic, Ableton.
And what would we do? Like,
You got 5 songs, you got 5 bangers. What's your next move?
Got 5 bangers, $500 on a laptop, and I'm on a deserted island.
No, you
I'm down the street?
Yeah,
Okay,
you're
I'm
down the
like,
street. Yeah,
stuck.
you're
I
here.
gotta
Just
swim
nobody
back.
knows you though. Like all the brands gone. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of producers are in this situation.
I feel
You see
that.
what I'm saying?
I feel that.
okay.
Marketing, I mean, you try to get the best marketing you can. You know, if you can promote your record the proper way and get your name out there, obviously you want to get your trademarks together. You want to make sure your mastering is on point with your songs. But from that point on, you want to reach people. So what is your best asset with $500 to?
Wait, so the songs are already done.
Songs are done.
Songs are done. They're bangers.
They're
So
bangers.
they're
They're
good.
good.
So
Yeah.
what do you do? How do you get your songs out there with?
Yeah, how would you get
$500?
started? You know, what's your plan? Because a lot of people have those 5 songs. They got a little bit of money. I'm not saying the money's vital in this scenario, but I think a lot of people have great music on their. Not everybody, but a lot of people have great music they're saving, and they literally don't even know how to take step one.
Well, first I would say I would need to figure out what type of music you're making.
Yeah.
I think what type of music you're making is going to determine how you're going to spend like that $500. Like, because when I look at like different platforms appeal to different types of like users, like different types of audience, a different type of audience. So if they're like, if you're making bangers and you know you're going to like push this mostly on SoundCloud, then obviously we need to like put some money behind like SoundCloud marketing. But if
you got your branding down.
get your brand, yeah.
Too.
Hopefully the branding part is already done and all that. Like,
That's a big factoid coming
Yeah.
out. I mean, carving your own lane music wise is amazing, but if nobody knows who you are and you got bangers and they can't live in your world, it's going to be tough for anybody to you know, connect with you as a fan.
yeah, I would just, you know, if I can make like, if you have a homie that can make like a video with you, like if you can make
more artwork.
yeah, if you can make some like
Just more content.
just more yeah, if you can make some little assets for social media for the 5 songs that you got, you spend $100 per song.
That's not a bad idea.
$100 per song. You grab your homie who has a dope camera and he can like, you know, chop some stuff for you, and you guys like work on like the creative like assets for the different things, and then you spend a little bit of money on some ads, or if you like, you know,
Instagram ads.
You guys ever play with Facebook, Instagram ads?
yeah, we do a little bit when we're doing like tour stuff. Like,
Dude, I got to show you guys some sauce, because I mean, we grew our whole company starting with $5 a day, like just putting $5 in, getting back out, and learning that whole technical game. But the fact that you can target anybody's audiences, you know what I'm saying, and if you know how to go after it, it's like hunting grounds. We've spent over $900K on Facebook at this point, and it's fucking beast. Like the fact that I can target a 19-year-old kid who lives in Idaho who's fans of Skrillex and also uses Ableton, I can tell that kid something very specific that he's going to vibe with, you know what I'm saying? But we've been doing swipe up ads with giveaways, and dude, the Instagram's been popping.
I bet.
Yeah, we grew almost 200K in like 6 months or something like
Wow.
that. Just started it, yeah.
See, we need to get on that.
Be on that sauce.
Yeah. Dude, it was Gary Vee. You guys know Gary Vee?
Yeah.
Dude, so we paid for the 4Ds consulting program. It's an all-day consulting thing with their company. And dude, the shit, like at first I thought he was motivational, you know what I'm saying, just based on his content. But dude, you go and you learn from them. And I got to meet everybody on his team. We had a 90-minute session with Gary. It's on fucking YouTube. And dude, they are so tactical. Okay, so they do this thing called the pillar content model, right? It's the idea that you shoot pillar content pieces, which this is a pillar content piece. It's like long segments, right?
Gotcha.
Out of this long segments, like as you guys are talking, I'm already like, ooh, I'm like, that's a fire piece for Instagram. That's a fire 60 seconds. See what I'm saying? And so the main piece might, like this, main piece might get 40, 50, 60K plays, but then each little one gets an extra 75K on Instagram, 75, 100, 80, 30, you know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden, all of those combined, like you essentially get like hundreds of pieces through 1 hour of work. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's tactical as hell.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude. That's
smart.
Yeah.
that was my pitch to be manager. That's my
I'm out here.
Cymatics signing the first artist.
Yeah. Well, so the experience, I'm sure, was great with Gary though, because he's like
He's dope.
Life changing, man.
Crazy.
Well, instead of like selling shit, we used to try to sell a lot of stuff. Now we just do branding. So like all our investments and stuff is more like brand, which is more like relationship with audience. So like before, I may be trying to figure out the next sample pack, but instead of that, now I'm like, okay, let's do this free thing for everybody to consume, free value.
I see that.
Doing more relationship type stuff. So like I'm never afraid to trade. Like for example, we have an email list of over 800K people. We got some pretty big socials. I'm like, dude, I'd like to give people traffic and like slam people, you know what I'm saying? But some people are weird about like posting about somebody, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, I don't care at all, you know what I'm saying?
You're just good as your network around you too. You could bounce ideas and co-collaborate with people. You're just spreading your name out there. Their people, their fans, whatever so be it. So
and I want to use some of these as like case studies, so like I'm taking some of the guests, like I'll take your Instagram, screenshot the followers, and then I'll start to do all our shit like slamming, like boom, 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 and I'm like, oh, here's what happened, because eventually we might be able to do brand deals with like bigger people and stuff, you know what I'm saying?
That'd be sick.
And just have a sick product that's like, hey, we have like 30 things we could do for an artist,
right?
And when we have a big enough platform, then it becomes an interesting thing, I don't know, some interesting stuff.
That's dope.
Cool. So, last thing, I guess we'll just do a quick giveaway. If you guys are watching this on YouTube, so all you got to do is drop a comment of your favorite point in this talk, and timestamps definitely help. By this point, you guys know that. And those are the little things, by the way, we cut back what the community says is our favorite parts. We then grab those for the socials. So they do the hard work for us. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
Yeah, it's an easy way to use it. But anyways, hey, thanks for coming on, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Boom.
Appreciate it.
How long was that, Alex?